This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. Now coming to performance testing, it is one of the non-functional testing, which is to check how fast the application is responding to the user's request and under different conditions, like how fast the URL is loading when you enter your banking website URL, or how fast it is giving you the last 10 transaction, and is it the same speed even when hundreds or thousands of other customers accessing the website. Okay, so performance testing evaluates these kinds of non-functional requirements of application. Okay, these are the most widely used tool for performance testing: LoadRunner and JMeter. We'll see in some time what are the other tools available. Okay, hope you understand the difference between functional testing and performance testing. So on high level, functional testing is all about testing the core functionality of application, whether the functionality is working fine or not. That is important in functional testing perspective. When it comes to performance testing, how much time it is taking to execute that functionality is important. Okay, we'll see one example. Let us open one website. Okay, this is one of the sample application which we'll use to learn scripting. I just want you to understand the difference between functional and performance testing once again. Okay, if I want to test the login functionality of this application, I enter some username, some password, and click on login. Okay, okay, now the user is able to log in successfully. That means login functionality is working fine. Okay, when the user is entering a valid username and valid password and click on login button, the user is able to log in successfully. Okay, this is functional testing aspect. Now I will log out and log in again. Okay, the user is able to log in successfully again. But what is more important from performance testing aspect is how much time took to log in and land on this page. Okay, and when many number of users are accessing the application, how much time it is taking to log in. Okay, this is what we are interested in performance testing. Okay, these are the different types of performance testing: load testing, stress testing, endurance, spike, volume, and scalability testing. We'll discuss this in more detail during our regular classes. Okay, we'll discuss in depth why and how to perform these different tests using LoadRunner. Next is why performance testing is very important. Okay, performance testing helps to identify bottlenecks, weaknesses, and potential failure points in application. Let's say if we don't do performance testing and deploy our application in production, what will happen if there are any performance bottlenecks? It will cause great damage to the business. For example, consider you want to do some online shopping and open, let's say, website one. Okay, you open website one for online shopping, which is not performance tested and has bottlenecks. Okay, so if it is responding very slow, like loading the website, I mean launching the website is taking around 20 seconds. Okay, then searching for any product, okay, it is taking around 30 seconds. Then adding to cart, okay, it is taking again 30 seconds. Then payment is taking around 40 to 50 seconds. Okay, do you use this website, or if there is another website, okay, for which performance testing is done and no bottlenecks are there, and all of these scenarios, it is taking less than 5 seconds. So do you prefer to use website 1 or website 2? it will be website 2 always, right? So performance testing of application is very important before going into production, as performance issues can cause, it can lead to customer dissatisfaction, loss of revenue, and damage to the brand reputation. Okay. Okay. These are some of the different tools that are available for performance testing. In this, these are the commercial tools. Okay. That means you need to pay to use them. Okay. Free versions are available, but they will have limited functionality. And these are the open source tools. Okay. In this, LoadRunner and JMeter, these two are the most important, and they both together account to about 80% market share in performance testing tools. Okay, LoadRunner, it is there in the market for so many years. Okay, it is currently owned by OpenText. Previously, it was owned by HP and then Micro Focus. It is licensed tool, so you will get continuous support. You will have proper licensing, and there will be no issues in executing tests with hundreds and thousands of users, and also it is more stable. Okay, now which one to choose, it depends on the client and company we are working for. Most of the banks and financial institutions, they prefer to use LoadRunner, as data security is very important to them, and they don't prefer to go with some open source tool. Okay, and LoadRunner is the benchmark tool in the market, as it has more advantages than others. There is something called protocol, and the number of protocols supported by LoadRunner are way higher than the other tools. Okay, whatever tool you take, uh, LoadRunner has more advantages than it. Okay, it is, if you want to use some open source tool, then JMeter is a better one. Okay, now let's discuss LoadRunner architecture. Okay, I will explain the architecture of LoadRunner by taking an example of an application, and how each component is used in the performance testing of this application. Okay, for example, consider a bank application. Let's say this is a bank application. Okay, and you are asked to test this application by applying a load of let's say 500 users. Okay, okay, now all 500 users should access this application and perform some actions like fund transfer, balance inquiry, or generate statement. Some action they need to perform. Okay, let's say you want to test performance. You want to test performance of fund transfer scenario for this bank application, like how much time it takes to launch, login, and do fund transfer. Okay, what are the possible steps you follow from the web UI when you want to do fund transfer? First, you will launch. Okay, you will launch the internet banking URL. Then you will enter your credentials and click on login. Okay, then you will go to fund transfer option. Okay, now then you will select beneficiary and enter amount, and then click on transfer, and finally log out. Okay, so you want to test this to find out how much time it takes when 500 users are doing these actions. Okay, is it possible to get 500 people, give them a laptop and ask them to log into the application and do these steps? It's not possible practically, because this 500 number can also become very big. Like sometimes we need to apply a load of say thousands of users, which is not possible practically. So there is a component in LoadRunner that is going to simulate these number of virtual users for us to test, and this component is called agent machine, or load generator. Okay, so whatever the actions normal user do from the web UI, okay, these virtual users can do. The users generated by this load generator, they can do the same. Okay, we'll discuss how many users it can generate later, but for time being, understand that this is purely responsible for generating virtual users. Okay, so now we have virtual user to test the application. What else we need to have? How these 500 users can execute these 6 steps here. In order to do this, we need to generate a script, and that script can be used by these 500 users and simulate these steps for us. Okay, so we can analyze performance. So we have a component called vUsen. Okay, this vUsen is to generate this script that virtual users can use. Okay, so we have two components now. One is to generate virtual users and the other is to prepare the script. Now we need some platform to trigger the execution. Okay, to start the performance test, and that component is called controller. So we upload the script generated from here to controller, and we give the number of users and trigger the execution. Okay, we trigger the execution from controller. Actual execution don't happen here, it just triggers the execution here. So execution happens here in the load generator. Okay, at last we need to analyze the test results. After finishing the test, we need to analyze the results, and the component used for this is called analyze or analyzer. Okay, this is the high level architecture of LoadRunner. Okay, we will learn all this practically in our regular classes. Okay, any questions still here? Next we will see a demo. Okay, I hope there are no questions. Then I will proceed with the demo. So, based on this LR architecture, can anyone tell which component of LoadRunner is used for record and replay? We just discussed now. Can anyone say?
Controller.
One second. Okay, controller is to execute our tests, but the script is prepared using vUsen. Okay, so for this demo purpose, to record a sample and replay, we use this vUsen. Okay, so once you install LoadRunner in your machine, you can open it by searching like vUsen, that is virtual user generator, or you can also open by navigating like this to micro focus folder, and in this vUsen will be available, virtual user generator. Okay, there are different options, menu options available in this tool. Okay, we'll discuss each one in our regular sessions. For time being, I will show how we record and replay the script. Okay, we'll select new script and solution. Okay, in the LoadRunner advantages, we discussed that there are many protocols available in LoadRunner, right? So here we select a protocol which we want, then click on create. Okay, in general, we may or may not use all these protocols, but at least 2 to 3 protocols are good enough to know as a performance tester. Okay, whenever you test any UI application, which runs on browser, we have to select this protocol, web HTTP HTML. Okay, then you will enter the script name here. Okay, now you don't need to enter anything here. You just click on create. Okay, so this is the code editor. On this screen is the code editor where you can see the recorded script, which you can enhance it according to the requirement. Okay, left side, this is the solution explorer, okay, which has different options used while developing a script or replaying a script. Okay, for demo purpose, we'll use I will record a simple login functionality of web tours application that comes with LoadRunner software for practice. Okay, okay, now we'll record 3 steps. Say launch, login and logout. We'll launch the application, login and logout. We'll record these 3 steps. Okay, this is the record icon, and when you click it, it will pop up a different window. Okay, here you need to select browser. Okay, you can select web browser, then you need to select which browser you want to use for recording. You can select any browser, then you need to enter your application URL. So this is the URL for web tours application. Okay, then you need to click on start recording. So it will launch this URL with this browser. Okay, so this URL is launched with the Firefox browser. Okay, the first step launch is done now. Okay, so here there is a movable window. Okay, it has many options which are helpful while recording. These 3 options here are a separate concept, and we'll discuss this later. Now we'll focus on these two. These two is, first one is start transaction and second is end transaction. Okay, this will be enabled after clicking this. So whenever we want to do any step, we'll click on insert start transaction. We will do the step, then click on insert end transaction. Okay, now so launch step is done. Now we need to do login. So before login, I will click on insert start transaction and enter a name for this. I will enter as login. Okay, so this got enabled now. See, so before clicking on this, we need to do the step. So I will log in now. Okay, so login, the user logged in successfully. So login step is done. So what we need to do now? We need to click on end now. So it will show the start, whatever the name we gave for start, it will show for end. So login is done. So next step is logout. So sign off. So before doing sign off, we need to again click on start. What is this? Sign off. Okay, now we'll do the sign off step. So sign off is done. Now we'll end it. Okay, that's it. So now all the steps are done. Okay, we need to stop recording using this icon. Okay, once you click on stop recording, the script will be generated. See, see. Okay, as you can see, the code got generated for whatever steps we performed till now. Okay, okay. See, this is the start transaction. This line is saying start. We clicked on start transaction button, right? So for that, this code got generated. Similarly, This is end transaction. When we clicked on end transaction, this line got generated. And this is the request that is sent to the server when we clicked on login. Okay. So these are the steps for login. Okay. And this request here, it belongs to sign off. Ignore these for now. Can anyone tell what is this request? For this, it don't have start and end transaction because this is the launch URL. Okay, this we passed at the initial before that movable window appeared. Okay, so for this we can add start and end transaction manually. We can just copy these lines and add there. Okay. Similarly, we can add end transaction also for that launch step. Okay, so this is the request for launch step. This is the we need to edit the name. Okay, this is for login, so we need to edit it as launch. So whatever the name we gave in start, we need to give in end also. So this is the request for launch. This is the request for login, and this is the request for sign off. Okay. Now this is the icon to replay the script. If I click on replay, this script will get executed. That means whatever actions we did from the UI, those actions will be simulated by this script. Okay. Okay. You can see replay is passed, and you can see how much time it took for each step. Okay. Uh, as per the industry standard, generally it should be less than 2 seconds. And again, it depends on application to application. Okay. I have explained all this at a very high level for demo purpose, just to show how we record a simple script and replay. Okay. We'll discuss with very detailed info during our regular sessions. Okay, any questions till now? We'll go to course content next. Any questions? Okay. Now we'll see course content. Okay. This is the course content. We'll discuss about application architecture, like we'll discuss about web server, app server, and database servers. Then we'll discuss about different types of performance testing. Then performance testing lifecycle. We'll discuss more than the ones mentioned here. Okay. Then LoadRunner, installation of LoadRunner, and different features of LoadRunner. Okay. Then best scripting practices in Vusion. That means once we record the script, we need to enhance the script to work. So what are the best practices we can follow to enhance the script? Okay, then we'll discuss about runtime settings. See, in Vusion, there is something called runtime settings. There are different options here. So we'll discuss about each of them in depth. Okay. Then we'll discuss about HTML versus URL based recording. So there are two types of recording in Vusion, as you can see here. HTML based script and URL based script. We'll discuss about this. Then we'll discuss about checkpoints. Checkpoints are nothing but assertions. Uh, when a script is getting replayed, whether it is successfully executing or not, we'll test it using checkpoints. Then we'll discuss some C language topics. Okay. Most of the people ask whether coding is required for performance testing. The answer is yes, but very basic knowledge is enough. Okay. For some scripts, you may not need any coding, and for some, we might need to enhance your script by writing some custom logic. But as I said, very basic level is enough. And non-IT people also need not worry about coding part, because how much hour is required, like these concepts will be covered in this course, and this should be enough for performance testing. Okay. Then we'll discuss about correlation, which is one of the most important concept. Okay, then we'll discuss parameterization. Both correlation and parameterization are very important. Okay, without these concepts, there may not be any script. So whatever script you do, so we need to implement these concepts. Okay, for example, in the script we generated, see, we are logging in using username and password, right? So if 500 users are accessing the script and each user want to log in by using different username and password, we use this concept called parameterization. Okay, so it is very important. So all till here it's all about using. Okay, here, from here, we'll discuss about controller. In controller, we'll learn about how to execute different types of performance tests and monitor them using controller. Okay. Next, we will discuss about analysis. Okay. It is all about how we generate once we complete the test and analyze the report. Okay, this analysis is very important because to be a successful performance engineer, how you monitor and analyze different metrics to find out the performance bottlenecks is very important. Okay, then we'll discuss drafting email with all observations. So once you finish the performance test, we need to send an email with performance test results along with the observation. So we'll discuss the email template that is recommended to send the results. Okay. Then we'll discuss about interview questions with answers. Okay. I have added these bonus topics because as a performance engineer, it is very important to have a good understanding of these topics. This will help you in analyzing and finding out bottlenecks in your database and application code. Okay, we'll discuss about AppDynamics as well as Dynatrace as well. At the end of the course, you can utilize this mock interview. Okay, if interested. This mock interview is not part of the course initially, but I thought it will be helpful for you to give you a feeling of how the real interview will be, and you can be more confident when you attend the real interview. So I added this to the course. Okay, we'll give few days time to prepare, and once you are ready, you can schedule the mock interview and attend. Okay, any questions? I request all the attendees to share your name, email, and WhatsApp number in the chat window, so we can send this presentation as well as some other informative documents related to performance testing and LoadRunner. Can you please send them?
Sure. Satish, so how many protocols are you going to explain in our upcoming sessions?
We'll learn about 3 to 4 protocols.
Okay, okay. And so sorry, I missed it. So do you also mention any APM tool in the
Yes,
session
I just
for
mentioned at
practical?
the end. We'll learn about
Sorry.
AppDynamics and Dynatrace as well.
Okay,
One
okay.
tool we will learn in live session. One tool we'll share the recorded video.
Okay. And also coming to execution, is there any uh, just for a knowledge based any performance center
For
just for
execution
our,
also, we'll use controller for execution.
yeah, controller is there, but for our knowledge based any performance center for OnePlus, is there any chance
For performance
we will
tester,
expect performance?
we'll be sharing these recorded videos with you. For practice, I will check with Kumar sir once if there will be any tool.
Yeah, sorry, did you get? I'm asking performance center.
Yeah, that is nothing but LRE, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Performance
okay,
center is
okay.
also called as LRE. So you will get these recorded videos for LRE.
Okay, sorry, that is separately, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
In this
okay,
session,
okay,
we'll use controller.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Guys, can you please send your name, email, and WhatsApp number? Okay, no more questions. Okay. Hope I answered all of your questions. Okay, if you have any further technical questions, you can reach out to me in WhatsApp one to one, or you can ping in the group as well. Okay, if you have any payment related queries, please reach out to Kumar sir or Isha team. I will give you Kumar sir number. Yeah, +91 80 199 52 427. So any payment related queries, you can reach out to his number. Okay. Regular sessions will start from tomorrow. Okay. So I will end the session, but can others also please send your email and WhatsApp? Okay. I'm closing the session. Thank you all for attending today's session, and hope to see all of you in the upcoming sessions as well. Thank you.